where do you see the industry going over the next 12 months?
So over the next 12 months, what we're really seeing happening and taking place in the industry is the embracement of multi-cloud. And multi-cloud because for some customers, they need Office 365. They can't really get that technology from anywhere else other than Microsoft, but it doesn't mean that they are not taking advantage of what's happening inside of Amazon. But by the way, they've got a major investment in VMware, and they're really looking to hybrid cloud and other options around that. So what we see is, how do we sew all these things together? And by the way, VirtuStream is hosting those mission critical workloads, giving our customers this great experience through our extreme care services. So what we see is the ability to take all these things collectively and think through a strategy that can leverage what they're doing and how they're authenticating in one cloud, some of the work they're doing to make things cloud native in another, and bringing that all together with a hosted mission critical workload under one umbrella with a single hand to shake from VirtuStream.
Sure, I mean, I think, everybody's going to tell you about cloud, containers, IoT, and certainly I will echo all of that, but let me focus on something that's a little bit unique. It's really how do you integrate all of that and build a cohesive story? Because yes, everybody's going to have to be doing all of those. And so what we're really focused on is working with VMware to deliver a cohesive story for your on-prem infrastructure, for your cloud infrastructure, for your IoT infrastructure, and really tying that all together with common management, common software, and common hardware as necessary.
Well, 12 months is both short and long. I think over the next 12 months, we're certainly going to see more of the same. We're going to see some more consolidation within the space, but I think that we're going to see a kind of rapid maturing of cybersecurity within public cloud. I think cloud itself, security has been somewhat nascent, and the solutions have been limited to log file analysis, some vulnerability management, scanning of cloud and container images. So I think we're going to see that rapidly mature as kind of cloud first and cloud native approaches to security into the scene. In terms of Xdrop, we actually recently announced a whole new deployment model called RevealX Cloud, which allows our users to just send a feed of the traffic to Xtrahop, and RevealX Cloud is a cloud native kind of hosted SaaS model for analyzing all of that traffic for those suspicious behaviors and potential threats.
So I see a lot of things going on. I think from our perspective, we see the industry moving a lot more to defining things as code, as well as moving and bridging the gap between virtualized technology as well as container technology. That's why this year we've made a big push on the Kubernetes front, as well as focusing on things like functions as a service. You'll see with some of the recent VMware announcements as well, where they also are kind of seeing that picture kind of make its way to the forefront. That's where Morpheus sets itself aside from other people, is because we work container native first. We really do a great job at bridging that gap between your VM-based infrastructure as well as the latest container technologies.
Great. So two things that I can say about the future, if I may predict so. The diversity of what I would call next generation architectures, which include expansion into different clouds and multi-cloud that our organization want to support, maturation of containers and container orchestration technologies and integration into the mainstream data center, integration of DevOps into the operation, and the biggest challenge that operations need, or engineering and DevOps need to deal with, is automation, because you cannot hire enough people, train people fast enough, and this is what we aim with our products, to help you focus, automate a lot of the mundane tasks that you normally would approve very quickly in a policy change management environment, and have your staff or teams work on high value initiatives, new products you're going to launch, and digital transformations.
Sure. So being this industry in the backup disaster recovery this over 10 years or so, I can see more data centers are moving towards hybrid. Okay, so say the small businesses moving completely their VMware infrastructure to Amazon. So right now VMware announced Azure collaboration. So it's like they are moving their data center to cloud. And more enterprise, they keep a few on the on-prem as well as the cloud. So here, as a backup software vendor, we see it's an opportunity for us to come up with a backup solution which works on-prem, cloud, any cloud, and the data mobility. So that is what I'm seeing. So people moving data from on-prem to cloud, cloud to on-prem. So it's kind of a data mobility happening across on-prem and cloud. So that is what I'm seeing happening around all the data centers. So as a backup software company, we think solving that problem will be the next major thing for the backup software company. So that is what I'm thinking, the challenge in next 6 to 12 months.
It's a fun question to answer for a couple of reasons. First of all, we think we have a strong handle on where the industry is going, but more importantly, from our customers' point of view, we relieve them of the need to answer that question, because no matter what the future holds, they know their storage through Zadara is going to be there to support them. We take that risk off the table, in other words, thanks to the fact that we're a cloud model, and you can go up, you can go down, you can switch. We have on-demand swap of hardware as you need it. So if you decide one storage medium is working better for you than another, you decide that you'd like to move to a different location. When you're working with Zadara, the future is whatever you need it to be and whenever you need it to be. So that's the answer to the customer. For us, we see hybrid cloud as being really where it's at, and we're finding that we're in an interesting time right now where a lot of people are trying to define what their requirements are. And we spend a lot of time working with customers to do that, and it's interesting to see how it plays out. In all cases, no matter what you're trying to accomplish with hybrid, no matter how much you want to be on-prem or perhaps move to the cloud, you're going to need to have flexibility, and that's what we can provide.
Well, thank you for taking the time to speak with VMblog.
Thank you.
I talk to a lot of CIOs, and the one thing consistently I hear from every CIO is that they want to move fast, they want the cloud-first strategy. When they mean cloud-first strategy, what they don't mean is Amazon or Azure. They just want to be able to move faster, agile, enable the developers to be a more rapid production, right?
Right.
So if you look at the world, in the multi-cloud world, there are two things to consider. There is the compute plane and there's a data plane. The compute plane is basically orchestration services like VMware and Kubernetes. That's going to be uniform everywhere. But what's missing in the world today is a multi-cloud data plane which has data services which is uniform, like primary, backup, and DR. They're all very different on each platform, on each cloud. So what we're trying to do is make that a uniform data services across all the clouds. We believe the world is going to end up there. Cloud is just another data center. Let's use it, let's consume it for our benefit.